As a renowned Islamic scholar, transformational speaker, teacher, and mentor, Abdulfattah Adeyemi has inspired countless lives with his insightful lectures and compassionate guidance. Connect with a community of like-minded individuals seeking knowledge and achieving greatness.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. My name is Abdulfattah Adeyemi, and the topic of discussion is the grand scheme of life. Is life a journey or a quest? Are you going somewhere? That is life a journey? Or you are looking for something? Is life a quest? If you look at life as a journey, it means you are traveling through life and you are like somebody who is going somewhere. And when we say a journey is filled with scenery to admire, choices that carry equal weight, and destinations that emerge naturally rather than being imposed upon us. Meaning that, you are traveling. Meaning of life is derived from the mere act of moving, the mere act of advancing, of experiencing. The idea of life for somebody who looks at life as a journey is that we should just keep moving. Sometimes we look at life as something linear. You started from when you were born, and then you keep traveling through life, through adolescence, through teenage, then through the time you are getting married or the time you went to school, and then after school, this one, after this one, that one, after that one, that one. And then you get old and then you die. It's like a long, continuous line. And we look at life that way as a journey. The journeyer embraces the unknown along the way. They see the value in the detours. You turn right, you turn left, you go this way, you go that way. And they allow the purpose of life to be discovered. Meaning that as you're on the journey, you discover what you discover. You find out what you find out. You met what you met, you meet a friend, you know one person in the course of your journey in life. That is when you look at life as a journey. You met social person, this is my friend. 10 years ago, we were friends. Now we are still friends. Or, I met that person about 15 years ago and since then we lost contact. It's like, okay, these are the people you meet in the journey of your life. And then so you are just discovering things along the way. Not that you determined what you are going to find. The thing is you just kept finding and discovering and running into people and meeting some people. Some people also met you along the line of the journeys of your life. That is when you look at life as a journey, the question you need to answer is, where exactly are you heading with this your journey? What is your destination in life? Are you going the same direction with those people around you? You have to ask yourself this question. And then you ask, who is leading you? Who are you following? And who are you escorting? Are you in this life to escort other people in the journey of life? Or you actually have your own destination that you are going? Is this journey of life an errand for somebody else? Is it that somebody else sent you a message? Or it is your own travel? We travel for many reasons. Sometimes people send us to go to do things for them. Now, this is your own journey in life. Are you running somebody else's errand, or is actually your own life that you are journeying through? Are you journeying, traveling through somebody else's life, or it is your own life as it is? The other side is when you look at life as a quest. That is, maybe you are living life as if you are here to look for something. You regard life as a mission that requires a kind of conviction. The quester, the person who is looking at life as something you are looking for, believes that there is something to be found. Whether it is knowledge, or it is wealth, or it is power, or it is self-discovery. Some people look at life as they are here to discover love, or they look at life as if they are here to find something, maybe enlightenment. And this is the belief that drives them forward. They are undeterred by obstacles or setbacks. You know what happens when you are actually looking for something? A quest demands focus, it demands tenacity, a sense of direction that transforms the uncertainties of life into challenges to be overcome. In this view, the quester lives life in search of something definitive. So something special you are looking for. So they cherish each step not merely for what it is, but for how it brings them closer to what they are actually looking for. So the question you ask yourself is, if you are looking at life as if you are here to look for something, the question you need to answer is, what exactly are you looking for in life? Do you know it? Do you know what you are looking for? Can you recognize it even when you find it? Or have you found it already, but you don't know because you can't recognize it? Then what is the worth of what you are searching for? Is it worth the search? And are we all looking for the same things? Are you just helping other people to look for their own things, thereby forgetting to search for yours? You know, for example, you ask a bachelor, what are you looking for in a wife? You ask an entrepreneur, what are you looking for in business? Okay, he's looking for money, he wants to be wealthy, he wants to be successful. So let's even assume that you find what you are looking for in life. What next? What are you going to do next? So this is to say that some people are in this world. It's not that they are on a journey per se. It is that they are looking for something. And that is why you see some people are motivated by things they don't even know. He knows that he's searching for something, but he doesn't really know what he's searching for. Some people actually believe that you are here in this world to look for money, for example. Everything about what they do in life is looking for that money. Then you now be like, okay, is money all you have come to this world to look for? And what if you find the money? What will you do? And for some, when they find the money, they are confused. They don't know what next to do with their lives. You got the money, you got everything, you got houses, you got buildings, you got factories, you got companies. Then you got aeroplanes, you got yachts, you got helicopters, you got private jets. You've got everything that you are looking for. So what next? When they see that they are the peak of what they were looking for, the next thing is they are looking for trouble, or they are looking for death, or they don't even know what they are looking for anymore, because everything they have looked for still leaves some gaps left in their minds. They are still yearning for something more, but they don't know precisely what is it that they are missing that is making them not to feel satisfied with life. Now you see these two people now. One of them looks at life as a journey. Let me just keep moving. Let me keep traveling until when death catches me. I don't know where I'm going per se. I don't know where I will reach. But all about my life is, let me just keep going through this journey. Thick and thin, good and bad, happy or not happy. I'm just going through this journey because life itself seems to be designed to keep dragging us forward. We can't go back to yesterday. You are forced to live through every day as if something is pulling you or dragging you or pushing you towards your grave. Now, how do we reconcile these two people? One looks at life as a journey. The other one looks at life as a place where you have come to look for something. Which perspective is correct? Journey or quest? Maybe the two of them may be true because life is very vast and multidimensional. The same way people have different ideas about why they are here in this world. Life can be slow unfolding of a journey, while also it can contain the urgency of a quest. Maybe the real wisdom lies in knowing when to journey and when to quest. Because understanding that the two are not mutually exclusive but complementary is very important. You may want to combine the two in life so that as you travel through life, you discover things that you never imagined. And in your search for something valuable, you define your mission in life. So let's look at it together now as if to say there's the interaction of the two. Life as a journey allows us to savor the now, while life as a quest gives us the fire to reach beyond ourselves. And so the journey gives us freedom and the quest gives us a sense of purpose. How do we combine these two? To combine these two, we need something. And what is that thing that we need? We need a scheme. We need a plan. We need a plot. To achieve these two, life being a journey and a quest, we need a scheme, a grand scheme for that matter. What is a scheme? A scheme is a carefully organized and sometimes complex plan or arrangement that we design in order to achieve a particular goal. And schemes can be created for a variety of purposes. Sometimes we scheme in order to have something constructive, and sometimes we scheme in order to be deceptive or to be manipulative in our intentions. So what is the grand scheme of life? Life is not just a game of chance. Life is not a random sequence of events. Those who leave their destiny to fate alone, sometimes they find themselves swept away by the currents of uncertainty. Their dreams are slowly killed by the brutal realities of time. But those who scheme wisely, not in deception, that means they don't leave anything to chance. They actually scheme. They actually plan everything. They don't plan it in deception, but they understand that success is not merely stumbled upon. You don't just get successful by not planning anything. They believe that it is built piece by piece with intention, with foresight. Every human effort to shape a successful life can be understood, therefore, through planning for something, through scheming for something. You don't just like sit down there and expect life to just happen for you. That's what it means. So, to scheme or not to scheme, to plan or not to plan. Let us look at some ways through which a person can scheme their ways through life, if there's anything like that. Mean that even if your life is a journey and you don't have a scheme for that journey, you will not reach your destination. And let's even say life is, you are here to look for something. If you don't know how to scheme very well, you will not get what you are looking for. In fact, by the time you see, somebody else will take it from you and there's nothing you can do. Somebody else will rob you of your destiny. Somebody else will rob you of your goal. When you are at the point of achieving what you are actually looking for, somebody else has already taken over from you. So if you are going through life without scheming, without planning, how is it going to be? Now, let's look at it one by one now to unpack it. Let us say life can be only successful with a plan. What is a plan? That is your plan for life. A plan maps out the route to success. A plan sets clear objectives and defines the steps required to reach them. But the plan alone is like an unread book. It is full of potentials, yet it's powerless without action. Now, let me ask you now, the day you were born, did anybody ask you, now that you are here, what's the plan? Did anybody ask you, how do you plan to survive, baby? How do you plan to go through life? Did anybody ask you? Will it be that you are possibly part of your parents' plan for a successor? Ask yourself this question about plan. Did you come to this world with any particular plan of how you want to survive in this world? Because this world is very chaotic, it's full of so many things, ups and downs. So what's your plan? Let's say as a baby, you didn't have any plan at all. That is why you are where you are now. And some people did not even plan for you. Then life will become so difficult. Maybe you are just a plan of your parents. When they did something they call family planning, you are the one they were talking about. Maybe they gave birth to you accidentally. They didn't plan that you will come here. Maybe you are a result of a failed family planning pill. Your mother forgot to take the medicine. She forgot to take the pill. Or maybe they planned to remove you but somehow the abortion pill did not work. Are you part of a grand plan of somebody else's life? Maybe they give birth to you just to have somebody to succeed them. Not because there's anything special they want you to achieve in life, and not because they have any special plan for you. They just want you to be like, when we die now, who is going to look at, who is going to succeed us? Maybe their plan is so that when they grow up, you just take care of them. You may be a plan of somebody else's plan. You may be part of somebody else's plan. And maybe that is why nobody has any plan for you. And maybe that is why every plan you thought you will make, you are making it too late, because nobody planned that you'll be here. You are just an accident. Allah Akbar. Another way of looking at life so that you ask yourself the question is, what are the blueprints of your life? So we now say the blueprint. If a strategy can provide direction, then a blueprint will provide structure. You know, what's the blueprint of your life? An architect does not build without blueprints, and neither do successful individuals. A blueprint provides details of the components of success, whether in personal growth or your business or your relationships or your spiritual well-being. A blueprint is precise, it is technical, and it ensures that every action is aligned with the bigger picture. So success is not a product of vague aspiration. The question you ask is your life structured in any particular way? What is the blueprint for your life? Do you have one? Have you ever got one before? And have you ever thought of one? What is the structure on which you are living your life? Or you are just living life in a vague manner? That is, you are so listless with life. You don't have a blueprint for your life, and you don't appear in anybody else's blueprint. Ask yourself this question very well so that you understand very well when we are talking about the scheme of life. And do you know that some people, before they were born, a blueprint is already on the ground for them? That this guy, when we give birth to this baby boy, from baby, they are already calling you prince, because they already draw the blueprint that you are going to be king one day. But what about you? Did anybody do anything like that for you? No, you are just there by accident, by chance. Allah Akbar. May Allah save us. Then the third one, number 3, is the design of your life. Design. So, you know, accidentally or incidentally, let me use this word, a blueprint alone is not enough. What is the structure without beauty? Design gives depth to life. It ensures that success is not merely about achievement, but also about fulfillment. You understand what I mean by that? It means it's not enough to just have a blueprint. You also have to have a design. A well-designed life balances ambition with contentment. It balances work with well-being, and balances success with significance. As the saying goes, it is not enough to build a life. One must design a life that is worth living. A life with finesse. A kind of designer life that combines both purpose and beauty. The question that comes from there is, this life that you are living, who even designed it for you like this? Who has designed that you have to go through life the way you are going through it? Or do you have any particular design for your life to say, okay, this is the, apart from the structure, this is what is going to add beauty to my life? You know, when they say somebody has a designer life, some people have a designer life that everything is just falling in place. Sharp, 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 sharp. Everything they do will just fall in place. You know, move from here to this place, from this thing to that thing, from this one to that one. As if somebody, Allah Akbar, it's as if they actually designed their destiny by themselves. And for some other people, Allah Akbar, it's like their lives was given to a committee to design. You know, when you give a committee to design somebody's life, all sort of amendments, all sort of suggestions, all sort of try and error. Maybe when the person is about to even get well, one member of the committee says, no, don't let it go that way. Let's change it to this one. Then the debate will start all over again. A life that's supposed to be designed within 1 hour, it will take 10 years. They have not finalized on the design. Then they adjourn again. They say, okay, let's meet again. Especially if it's a committee that they are receiving pay for holding meetings. Then they keep postponing and postponing. They were supposed to design a rat, then the whole thing became an elephant. Then they have a kind of botanical monstrosity about your life. They design you, you look very awkward. Allah Akbar. Your life is so haphazard, it doesn't follow any particular pattern, doesn't follow any particular rhythm. Then your life is just one kind of bad, terrible design like that. That if it were a building, the building authorities will not approve it. They will tell you, but this life that you are designing to become a terrace is only bungalows that's allowed here. And then you come to this world thinking that your life is 10-story building, and then people will start digging where they're going to build your house, and you'll be wondering, is it a grave they are actually building for me, or they are building a house for me? Allah Akbar. That is when a person's life doesn't follow any particular design. So in life, even if nobody is designing your life for you, what design do you have for your life? How do you design your life to be? Is your life designed as a bicycle, or is designed as a limousine? Let's move to another one. Number 4, the plot. That is, what is the plot of your life? What's the story of your life? The story we tell through our actions. What is your own? Every life is a story that's unfolding in chapters. It is filled with triumphs and trials. Some live as passive characters in the stories of their own lives. They let life happen to them, while other people seize the pen and write their own narrative by themselves. A plot gives life coherence. It ensures that every hardship has a lesson, every success has a purpose, and every setback serves as a setup for a greater comeback. The question you ask yourself is your life story a horror movie, or is it a honor movie? Is the story, the plot of the story of your life, is it an action one, or is it full of comedy, or is it tragic, or is it romance, or is it a war film? What is the genre of the plot of your life? Many people's lives are full of war, full of troubles, full of fights, full of unrest, full of violence. Some people's lives are full of demonstrations, very bloody demonstrations, full of drama. What drama are you playing in your life? And who designed this drama as part of the plot to your life? Do you own your own story, or you are just a character in somebody else's story? Whose script are you actually acting? And who wrote this kind of script for you in life, that is how you must be behaving? You are both the author and the protagonist of your own life story. I hope you understand. And you have to make it one that is worth telling. When we tell the story of your life to little children, will they not have nightmares? Even if they tell you your own life story, they convert it to a movie now, will you want to watch? Now, if you are not paying attention to the stories of your life, to the drama that keep coming to your life, that means you are not really living life. Life is the one that is living you. You are not living life. It is life that is living you. So what is the plot of your life? That's the question. What is the plot? What's the storyline? And as this story is going, season 1, season 2, part 1, part 2, how many seasons are there in your life? Then what's going to be the end? You know, sometimes when you have a story and the seasons are too long, you like to let's go to the end of it all. But when you're about to get to the end, then they will say, watch out for another season. When exactly is the plot, the story of your life, ever going to have a happy ending? When you thought everything is supposed to end well now, then everything will turn around again. The enemy you thought you have killed in the story of your life will just wake up again. Then you'll be like, so all this fighting we have been doing since morning, fighting still continues tomorrow again. It's a story of people whose enemies refuse to die. The story of people those who are looking after their downfalls, refuse to go. The characters are getting stronger. Those who are fighting them are gathering more arsenals, and the risks for the troubles in their life is getting more momentous, and everything is getting topsy-turvy. How are you going to continue life without taking over the plot of your life by yourself? That was number 4. Then number 5, when you look at the scheme of your life as a project. Yes. A project is where dreams move from imagination to reality. It breaks down grand aspirations into actionable steps. Those who treat life as a series of projects, whether in career or in relationships or in self-improvement, those people maintain momentum, they make progress, and they achieve their goals. Life does not move forward in one giant leap, but in small, deliberate projects that accumulate over time. So the question now is, if your life were a project, who is the contractor? Who is the project coordinator? Are you a project on your own? And who is investing in you as a project? Let me ask that question again. Who is investing in you as a project? Is anybody even looking at your life as a project that they should invest in? Maybe that's why people just suffer through life. Nobody is ready to help them. Nobody is ready to assist them. Because their life is the kind of project that nobody wants to waste their money upon. They don't even see it. They don't feel it. Because even you've not presented your life as a special project that anybody should be interested in. So beware. Is your life a project? And if it is a project, who is handling it? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar Kabira. A project will become very important to people depending on what you project forward for them to see. What exactly are you projecting that people will adopt as their own project? What do people see when they look at you? What do people hear when they listen to you? When you complain to people, what do they hear? Do they hear the sound of somebody that needs help, or they hear the sound of somebody that is a total failure? Think about that for a moment. And then number 6, the agenda. If you look at life as an agenda, the scheme of your life may likely become an agenda, because even with well-planned projects, distractions are inevitable. When you want to have a meeting or an important event, an agenda is drawn. You know, they say, what's the agenda of this program? It's a program and it's also a schedule. So an agenda ensures that focus is maintained, setting daily, weekly, or lifelong priorities that will align with the bigger picture. So, you know, when there's an event now, they say, what's the agenda? The question is, when you were born, were you part of the agenda? Or is there any particular agenda for your life? What is the agenda for your life? What do you want to do from month to month, from year to year? Where if there was an MC about your life, master of ceremony, they say, okay, now the next item on the agenda is for this guy to succeed. Or the next item on the agenda is for this guy to meet somebody that's going to lead them to the path of their destiny. Who is the MC of your life? And what is the agenda of your life from month to month? Okay, this month, this is what the agenda, what I want to achieve. Next month, this is what I want to achieve. Next month, this is what I want to achieve. Okay, this year, this is what I want to achieve. The next agenda of my life by next year is to achieve so and so. Now, you observe people will even celebrate birthdays without agenda. Some people do celebrate their birthdays, but they don't have any particular agenda to say, okay, let me check. Okay, we have done this one, check. I've been through this one, check. This year, my birthday is so and so. That's for those who do birthday. My birthday is so and so. Now, by the time we reach my birthday for this year, check. This is the next thing on my agenda. You don't even know what is next in your life. That is what is making life to be difficult for some people. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to meet by this year? Where do you want to travel to in this year? What is the next agenda? Is it for you to start paying debt, or to start buying things you don't need, or to start moving with friends who don't help? What is your agenda? Those who live without an agenda, they risk being busy without being productive. They risk moving around without going anywhere. A life without priorities is like a ship without a compass. The ship will be adrift, directionless, and easily swayed by the winds of distraction. Imagine a car without a steering. What does it look like? A car without a steering. And they say, okay, press the accelerator now and start moving. They'll start moving without an agenda, without a steering. That means, how can somebody travel through life that way? Either as a traveler or as a quester, you cannot drive a car without a steering to direct it. So that is the reason why some people go through life and they wonder, why is my life like this? Your life is like this because there's no agenda in your life. There's even no MC. There's no master of ceremony that is announcing the next agenda for your life. Imagine an event without any agenda. How rowdy and how chaotic it's going to be. And you'll be like, okay, what exactly are we even doing in this meeting? They say, we don't know. We are just meeting. What are we doing in this party? We don't know. We are just sitting down. There's no DJ. There's no MC. And there's nobody to serve food. Everybody's just looking at themselves. And then they say, okay, who is the celebrant of today? We don't know. So if there's no agenda for your life, it's as good as you are not even the celebrant. Allahu Akbar. Oh, Allah have mercy on us. Then let me quickly mention this one. Number 7, the arrangement. That is what is the order of your life. A successful life is not just about what is done, but also about how it is arranged. You get what I mean? Arrangement is the art of harmonizing time, responsibilities, and relationships in a way that maximizes productivity and peace. Arrangement ensures that every element of life, that's your work, your faith, your family, your wife, your husband, your personal growth, all of them, is to ensure that they all fit together in a seamless, efficient, and fulfilling manner. So we have to strike a balance between all aspects of life. And you have to now start asking yourself, excuse me, what arrangements are you making for your life? You know, something is supposed to be arranged now, you know. It's like you get to somewhere, they now say, okay, what's the arrangement? It's like you are born now, then someone now asks, what is it that has been arranged for you? They say nothing is arranged for him. How can you just be in this world and there's no arrangement on how you want to live your life, or how you want to plan your life, or the priorities of your life, or the harmony of your life, or how will you say, okay, which one should come first? You know, that kind of thing. Which one should come first? Some people, their lives are so arranged that they have 20 children before money starts coming. Does it make sense like that? They live the whole of their lives in penury until old age. They don't start having money when they can't enjoy it again. Is that a nice arrangement? Some people, they will oh yeah, salam. They will labor all their lives. It's like all the money they were supposed to make with that labor, that money will now be delayed until when they die. Then their children will start having money. That's not a nice arrangement. What is the arrangement of your life? Is it arranged in such a way that it will favor you? Why should somebody be so, full of sickness and disease throughout life? Only when the person is now 89, the person now start getting well. What kind of arrangement is that? Even after the person gets well, what more can the person do with that at that age? You know, when you cannot really enjoy a good ride or a good house, or you cannot even travel again, you are already old and senile, then good life now started. No, the question is, what is the arrangement of your life? Is your life arranged in a way that life will favor you? That's what I'm trying to say. The people that have been set up in the line of your life, are they arranged in such a way that your benefactors will meet you at every point of need? You know, some people in life, Allah so arranged their life to the extent that every point they get to, they meet somebody there that will say, okay, you just finished school, go and bring your CV. In fact, before then, you are looking for admission, okay, give me your result. Then the person just set there, arranged for them to get good admission. You get what I mean now? Then the person will get admission at a time when there's scholarship that's available. And then the person will finish school, somebody will be like, okay, bring your CV. And after a while, somebody will say, that's where you are working, come and work in another place. Some people's lives seem to have been arranged for them, but if nobody's arranging your own life, what are you going to do? What arrangements are you making for your life and for your family? What are your priorities in life? Now, what if you die now as a breadwinner? What happens to your little children? If you are still a young person. And what happens to your children too as a wife? If you should die as a woman now, you have small babies, small children. If you die now, what's the arrangement? What's going to happen to them? Or you are not thinking about it? Many of us will think we are going to live for 150 years. But you see, success in life is not just about achieving goals, but about arranging them in a way that can sustain your life, in ways that you can benefit from your life, and in a way that you can achieve success in being in this world. Whether you are here as a journeyer or as a quester, at least every point in the journey of your life, there should be an arrangement. Somebody that is running marathon, at every mile, every place they get to, somebody should offer you glucose to drink. Somebody should offer you cold water to cool down. Somebody should pour cold water on you if you are sweating too much. That's how it's supposed to be now, isn't it? And by the time you get to the final place of your marathon in life, somebody is supposed to give you the trophy. But unfortunately, the person to give you trophy has traveled. Is not around. What kind of arrangement is that? And you know what? It's so bad for some people's arrangement in life to the extent that they are running a race. You know, this 500 meters, sprinting. Yes, this sprinting kind of race. You know, you have to run very fast and get to where they say, yes, this is the winner. In this person's own case, there's no finish line. And this person just keep running through life. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Then you see some people are just running and running and running. There's no finish line. Nobody is cheering them up. There's no arrangement for anything for them. They just keep running and running and running and running until when they run and enter into their graves. May Allah save us from this kind of life. So think about it. There should be an arrangement somehow for you. If nobody has arranged anything for you, why don't you start thinking of an arrangement for yourself in life? Then number 8, what of the tactics? Tactics is a kind of scheme also. It's approaching life and knowing full well there are some unexpected things that will happen. Because no matter how well you plan, life remains unpredictable. This is where tactics come to play. Tactics is the ability to think on your feet. That's to adjust when circumstances change and to seize opportunities in the moment. A person with strong tactics does not panic in the face of challenges, but they pivot, they adapt, and they find another way around, and they find another way forward. Rigidity breaks under pressure, but adaptability bends, but never fails. When we say you have tactics in life, it means you already know that inevitable can happen. So you are not rigid. That's what it means. Some people's life are so bad now because they are too rigid. They don't have tactics. They don't have tact. They don't have system. You know, it's like when you are playing football on a football field and you don't know how to dribble. You don't have system. You don't have tactics. You don't have style. And then you are just running around. People will collect ball from you now. And when they collect ball from you, they go score against you because you don't have tactics. Those who are very good with football match arrangement, they know, okay, what scheme are we going to play? Okay, this person is going to play number 10. This person is going to play attacker. This person is going to play defender. Then they will not use their own attacker to become a goalkeeper. They make some rearrangement. In life, if you want to succeed in life, you have to adopt the tactics of football players. And number 9, what is the framework for your life? Framework is the foundation that holds everything together. All of these things we are saying. If there's no framework, then you are just going to be running from pillar to posts. The framework is the guiding principle, is the value and the ethic that sustain long-term success. Without a framework, a plan will collapse, strategies will fail, and success will become short-lived. What is the framework of your life? What are the ethical parameters for your life? How do you go around life? Somebody said there's something that is stronger than al-barika, something that is bigger than al-barika. And what is that? character. Character is greater than al-barka. Because no matter how much of al-barka you have, if you have bad character, the al-barka will not last. If you don't have good character in life, even if you think you have succeeded, that success will not sustain. So that is what we mean by the framework. What is the ethics with which you play your game? And what are the attitudes? What are the habits you have? Some people honestly will have been very successful, but they are not humble. They are not humble enough for other people to assist them. They feel they are too big and they feel they know too much, and they don't bring themselves down for those people who are going to help them. You want to carry load on your head and you are not ready to bend down so that somebody else can also assist you in carrying it. You will remain there for a long time. In other words, part of the scheme, part of the tactics of life is for you to have a framework. This framework, therefore, is the ethics with which you live your life. Do you have a particular principle in life that will make life to be easy for you? Or your life is full of too much anger and annoyance? So much so that you even get angry with those who are supposed to help you. You get angry with those who are supposed to support you, those who are supposed to assist you. You get angry with them, you keep malice with them. Some of them, you are not on talking terms with them. And these are the people that are holding literally the key to your success in life. And for a person to have good character and good behavior, that is part of the schemes of life. That's part of how to navigate life, how to go through life. You humble yourself when you should humble yourself. You submit when you are supposed to submit. When you meet your doctor, you just like chill and let doctor do his diagnosis. You don't go arguing with your doctor because you are a lawyer. And so, we plan to define our direction. We create blueprints so as to bring structure to our lives. We design lives of meaning and fulfillment. We plot our story with vision and focus. We execute projects to translate dreams into reality. We set agendas so as to stay dedicated. We arrange priorities so as to maintain balance. And we use tactics to adapt and overcome. And we also build a framework and ethics that can sustain a lasting success. And number 10 is the strategy of life. What is the strategy of your life? What strategy are you adopting for your life? All of these things I've been mentioning, they are all synonyms of scheme in life. But strategy this time around, let's give a little air, a little energy to strategy. The strategies of life are the plans that we make. How the strategies of other people affect us is also very important. How the plan of other people affects the success of our life is also important. What does it mean to be intentional about our choices and decisions? Where is the place of luck in all of these things we are talking about? Can we scheme our ways through life? Do we have to be smart or wise to be successful in life? What if I told you that where you are now is part of somebody else's strategy to favor them, not to favor you? I don't know if you understand what question I just asked now. What if where you are now is part of somebody else's strategy, which is designed to favor them and not to favor you? Are you actually being used by somebody right now? One person's success is another person's failure. Another person's ambition, even another person's unforeseen kindness, all of these things can change our own outcomes. In other words, it can redirect us towards paths that we had not foreseen, either positively or negatively. And what if your own failure in life is somebody else's success? What are you going to do? Because you know there are some places, let's say people work in places now. If somebody is not sacked, you cannot get promoted. If the person ahead of you doesn't resign or retire or die, you cannot reach that position. Is that how you're actually looking at life? Is that how you are living life? What if your success is another person's failure? What are you going to do? Are you a producer or are you a product? These are the questions you have to ask yourself. If people are selling things and you don't know what they are selling, you are most likely the product that they are selling. If you look around and you can't see what people are selling, possibly you are the one they are selling and you don't know. So you are either a producer or you are a product. Let me quickly explain the difference between scheme and scam, because they are two different things. You know, we say some people can scheme their ways through life. This scheming sometimes can be the other way. So life comprises of a combination of intention, of impulse and response. So schemes, you know, within this mismatch, human beings devise strategies, sometimes we call it scheme, like I said, in order to unravel the endless complexities. Schemes are often imagined as cunning and manipulative plans, yet the concept itself is neither wholly sinister nor inherently virtuous, meaning that it's neither positive nor negative. It's in between. It is neutral. Because generally everybody schemes. To scheme is to plan, it is to forecast the future and to prepare for contingencies. Just like all of this thing I've been saying all this while, it is part of the scheme of life. If we consider scheming simply as foresight or forethought, it becomes clear that it is a thing of honor and integrity. Take, for example, a mother who schemes to secure a brighter future for her child, for example. She does this out of love, you know. She applies thought and plan to ensure her child's well-being. In this case, her scheming is a positive force. It's a strategy that's born out of care, out of vigilance and prudence. A mother would be like, please, so this is my son. I want you to please help me give him a job. Please, my son needs this position. You see, a mother will be going from office to office. Please, so I've come to, you know, you and I were classmates, and this is my son. I've come to introduce my son to you so that in case if there's an opening in your company, you help me give job to my son. Some mothers will go and say, this is my son, and I know you're a politician from my constituency. I want you to see if there's any work you can give my son to do. Even if you want him to be your driver, I don't mind. They'll say, your son is a graduate now. How can he be a driver? Okay, we'll look for something for him. That is how some people became successful. Because they had a mother who could scheme and plan on their behalf. They have a father that will go around and say, look, please, that's your daughter the other time. I observe she's a graduate. My son is a graduate, he even has masters. Please, can your daughter marry my son? And they be like, okay, let your son come and try now, whether or whether not. And lo and behold, those people will be like, because you're a very good father, we are ready to give our daughter in marriage to your son. That is how they scheme for some people's life, and they have the best wife anybody can ever have. Get it? This is how scheming works in life. Some people that you see in high position of authority today, they didn't just jump there. Some people schemed and planned and plotted and everything. They wrote a blueprint. They had an agenda, hidden agenda, to ensure that their children get to high places in life. Whereas maybe your own parents were just there. They were hoping, they were dreaming, they were imagining, they were philosophizing. They were looking forward to their children being great one day, but they didn't do anything about it. That means they did not scheme. They did not plan. Nobody worked on your behalf. That is why you are suffering, and that's why you are struggling now. Now, do you know the source of many of the problems we have now? It's because nobody schemed on our behalf. And then when you see people achieving greatness, achieving things, you think it's just by magic. It's not magic. It's not by accident. Some people planned it for long ago. From the time a child is a small child, the type of school they make the child to go to will make you to understand that these parents that are spending so much money as school fees for this child, they are doing it deliberately so that the child will mingle with children of the elite, so that the only friends their children will have will be great people. But for some, even the primary school you went to, all of your teachers were broke. They were all poor people. So nobody will even motivate you to be successful in life. Astaghfirullah, I'm just saying this as example. From the classroom teacher to the principal, all of them were broke. None of them had a car that they were driving. So that is why getting a car in life looks like a very difficult thing to you. And among your classmates, Among your classmates in the university, how many of them are ministers now? How many of them are successful businessmen now? How many of them are successful politicians now? How many of them are successful individuals now? Not many of them are successful because it is not part of the plan that you should go to university where you will have mixed and mingled with the children of successful people that will be your friend now as we speak. Some of them will be like, Abdulatif, you are very brilliant too. My father has a company, let's go work there together. Then you just blow. But many people did not have a scheme for their lives. That is why it became very difficult. I'm saying this, I'm very sorry, this may affect some of us. I'm even mentioning name, Astaghfirullah. But in contrast, scheming can be a very bad thing. It can take on a darker aspect when it becomes self-serving at the expense of others, when it disregards the principles of fairness, of justice, and mutual respect. Such schemes are built on deceit. Some schemes are like that, to remove people from their positions and put another person there. They are built on deceit and propelled by the desire to manipulate outcomes in order to benefit one party without regard for others. It is like the scheme of a colleague against the other, so that the former can get a promotion ahead of the later. They often achieve this through rigged competition. This is the dark side of scheming now. And I'm mentioning this so that we know that when you want to scheme your way through life, it's not by hook or crook. You have to be careful. You have to ensure that you are not doing it at the expense of other people. They are achieved it by rigged competition. That is, they set up a competition that they have already rigged to their favor. Then unhealthy comparisons, comparing themselves to other people in such a way that you start looking down on the other person, and sometimes outright sabotage. The person is planning to do something, they go behind and sabotage the person's effort so that people will see only them, they will not see that person. Then they do this by distraction, sometimes by negative influence, by emotional blackmail, sometimes by passive aggression, sometimes by deflecting, that they shift focus elsewhere. They shift focus from people appreciating that person's effort and they shift it to something else so that that person will not be promoted or that person will not grow. This is wrong. Sometimes they do this by indirect discontent, sometimes by false reports, sometimes by clouding communication. They communicate in such a way that the person will not understand well and the person will make terrible mistakes that may make the person to lose their job so that they can occupy the position of that person. And sometimes by withholding important information or setting some traps for their colleagues. These strategies exploit vulnerabilities. This kind of scheming plays short-term gain over long-term harmony. It is haram. It is not allowed in Islam. In fact, sometimes some corporate executives who schemes to cut corners and maximize profits, they do all of these things. They become indifferent to the environmental cost or the welfare of other employees. That is, the executives who scheme against their workers. They ensure that they use them. They ensure that they exploit them. They ensure that they cheat them because he wants his company to grow. He will owe his workers, use the money of their salary, keep it in fixed account so I can make money out of it. This is wrong. This is dark. If you are such an executive, you are not going to end well. So some people scheme against their workers, they turn them into slaves and they reduce their potentials to grow. And sometimes they scheme against them in such a way that those ones will not know that this scheming is working against them. Sometimes they give them promotions without any money that can support it, so that that person will be feeling good that he has been promoted, but the money will not be enough. Sometimes they give you award. They say the best worker of the year. It is manipulative so that you feel good and you not resign. You are the best worker of the year, and when you need loan to do something good for your life, they will not give you. They tell you stories. Tell me, what makes you to be the best worker of the year? They say you are the best staff of the year. Instead of giving you money to complete your building or to pay your children's school fees, they will give you a plaque. The total cost of that plaque is no more than 15,000 naira. And everybody will clap for you and cheer you up. You don't know you are being manipulated by your boss so that you can put more effort, you can work a lot harder without achieving anything, but by gathering more wealth for them as your employers. This is dark. It's a very bad, haramic kind of scheming that a person can do. So the cut and short of what I'm trying to say is there's the positive scheming and there's the negative scheming. Let us ensure that we avoid the negative one. Positive scheming is enough to bring goodness to the life of anyone. So let us not go out of our ways to do things that's going to bring a lot of problem to the life of people. So we have scheme and we have scam. When it is positive, it is scheme. When it is negative, it is scam. So don't go about scamming people because you want to achieve success in life. I will give you only one example of this scheme and scam in the Quran. Quran chapter 3 verse 54, Surah Al-Imran. Allah says, وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They plan and Allah plan. They scheme and Allah scheme. And Allah is the best of those who plan. Now, the wamakaru, the first one is scam. Wamakarallahu is scheme. So, Allah used the same word, makaru, makar. The first makar for the unbelievers is a form of deception, and so that is scamming. The wamakarallahu, the one of Allah, is a positive planning, so that is the scheming. Wallahu khairul makirin, Allah is the best of those who scheme in the positive direction. So take note of that verse for you to understand the difference between scheme and scam. Let us wind down now and let me ask you the questions I've been asking before. I actually enjoy this question part of it because I prefer to ask more questions than to give you the answers. I believe each person will find an answer within themselves. So long as you keep asking yourself these questions, Allah will reveal the real answer to you in a way that's going to be uniquely your own answer. The question now is success all about strategy? Is success all about strategy? If it is yes or if it is no, let us look at how strategies work so that we now know where to put the luck factor in life. Number one, strategy can lay the groundwork. Scheme can lay the groundwork. But without hard work and dedication, it is an empty promise. So take note of that. No matter how much you want to scheme in life, carry hard work and dedication alongside. Number two, it is an action and effort that give life to strategy. No matter how much you want to strategize, if you don't take action, if you don't make effort, it's going to be a wasted dream that you have. Effort converts vision into motion. It carries dreams across the bridge of possibility into reality. This effort is more than fuel. It is the commitment that gives weight to every plan or every strategy. So if you have a plan or you have a strategy or you have a plot and you don't make any action, then it is useless. And that's why when people act movies, when they write the plot and they write the script, the first thing they will say is action. And then you start acting. Now, if they say action, you are still looking. Maybe you are supposed to say something, you are supposed to do something, or you are supposed to move around, you are supposed to start counting money, or you are supposed to start making money. Then I say action, then you just sit down there. Then they'll say cut, cut, cut. Let's take it again. Then they'll say action. If they do it like 3 or 4, then they'll be like, okay, the team, the crew, let's go home. This one is not ready to act. And the same thing with life. You can have your script, you can have your strategy, you can have your plot, you can have your plan. But if you are not ready to take action and make effort, it's going to be useless. Number 3, flexibility and adaptability. If you have your plan and you have your scheme and you have your strategy and you are not flexible, sometimes the wind may not blow in the direction you are expecting. Sometimes the person you expect to help you may not be the one that will really help you. Sometimes the door of provision will open in ways that you never expected. If you have already planned your life that this is what you must do, and you are not ready to be flexible, things are going to backfire on you. You already planned and plotted that this is the person you want to marry, And then you start seeing all of these red flags, left, right, and center. And you are not ready to be flexible enough to look for another direction. Your marriage has already failed even before you started. And the same thing with some businesses. You already have a business plan, and you already have somebody that will finance it. And then you suddenly realize that this business doesn't sell anymore. If you are not flexible enough to quickly move to another business, then you are going to fail. This is what we mean. Plans and schemes and strategies require certain form of flexibility and adaptability. This is very important. Be a little flexible in life if you want to be successful. Number 4, what about talent and natural ability? No matter your strategy in life, you need to infuse certain talent into it. What I mean by talent and natural ability is that these are gifts that defy strategic cultivation. No matter how strategic you are, if you don't have that talent and you cultivate your natural ability, your strategies may not work. It's a mystery that is rooted in the very essence of a person's personality. It is that unique gift that Allah has given to an individual. Talent is the spark that makes each individual to be unique. It is the singular ability that can turn an ordinary plan into something extraordinary. Strategy can amplify talent, but it cannot create it. In the recipe of success, talent is the ingredient, is the flavor that distinguishes the aroma that draws others to taste what you cook, what you have to offer. So no matter how nice your strategies are, if you don't have that talent, if you don't have that ability, if you don't have that gift, if you don't cultivate certain knowledge that other people are looking for, if you don't have certain things that are valuable to the life of others, then you are going to become unnecessary in their lives. And when you become unnecessary, people are going to ignore you. And when people ignore you, you are going to become worthless in their lives. So no matter how nice your scheme is, no matter how nice your plan, your plot, your arrangements are, if you don't have that kind of uniqueness in your talent and your cultivated natural ability to push it through, it's going to be worthless. Number 5, networking and relationship. These are some other things that assist your scheme in life. Well, it's a recognition that there's no journey that unfolds in isolation. Success is not a solitary pursuit, it's a constellation of connections, the intertwining of lives, the rubbing of minds, and the mingling of spirits. Relationships are the bridges that can carry us over chasms of life. They are the roots that ground us in the big trees of human support. A strategy without the right relationships is an echo in a void. It is through others that our ambitions can find fertile ground to grow. You know, you must have observed, this is why it's such a big deal to choose whom to marry. The person to be your life partner, your strategic spouse to move with you to the next level in life, to build your future with and to team with in the strive for the hereafter. Strategically, you marry somebody with Iman that's going to support you, that's going to assist you, that's going to help build your Iman in ways that you never could have done alone by yourself. So this is what it means when we say your scheme and your strategy in life require that kind of networking and that kind of relationship. It is the people you know, your network determines your net worth, like they normally say. Then number 6, this is one point I was emphasizing earlier on. Luck and circumstance. This is the hand of fortune. It is the moments of grace and synchronicity that arrive unbidden. It's usually beyond our control. No strategy can summon luck, yet it is so often that it shapes the turning points of our lives. Luck, Allahu Akbar. We all stand at the edge of chance and probability. We are hoping for favorable winds, for coincidences, that's tawfiq, that can align with our intentions in life. Luck is that serendipitous partner of effort. If luck doesn't support your efforts are going to be meaningless. It is an invisible force that sometimes lifts even the most unlikely strategies to greatness. And mark you, Allah is the maker of luck. Allah is the determinant of chance. There's hardly anything called coincidence. It's Allah that is the maker of coincidence. Allah is the designer of occurrences. Allah is the author of coincidences. Nothing escapes the will of Allah. Everything is according to the plan of Allah. How can we balance strategy and luck? One of such ways is you prepare for the uncertain. You stay alert to opportunities. Allah may not announce to you that this thing I'm presenting is your opportunity for a good life. Allah will not announce it to you. Many gifts and blessings come to us without labels attached to them. Allah presents some things without telling us this what exactly they are supposed to mean to us. We are the ones to make meaning out of it. So you have to stay alert to opportunities. You have to adapt to changing circumstances. You have to learn from failures and setbacks. And you have to pray for Allah to guide you. In other words, for all of these things we have been saying, we must not forget that strategy is not a guarantor of success, but a powerful enabler. It is the scaffolding upon which we build our aspirations. It is the roadmap that guides our steps. Success comprises of many ingredients, and each of them is unique. Strategy may enhance our chances, but it must be in harmony with work, with adaptability, with talent, with connection, and the unknown forces of destiny. That is tawakkul ala Allah. Allah is the one that directs our destinies. Whatever scheming you do, don't leave Allah behind. Whatever plans you have for life, don't forget Allah, the only one that can make your plans to become fruitful. Success is not simply the outcome of following a plan, but rather an acceptance of life itself. It's a recognition of the place of intention, the place of action, the place of the belief in the unpredictable forces that shape our journey. Al-Iman bil Qadr, the belief in destiny and predestination. Life is neither an accidental occurrence nor a solitary journey. It's a purposeful path that a person has to move through, whether as a journeyer or as a quester. It's a path that is filled with meaning and that is guided by divine wisdom. Allah knows why you are here. Allah is the all-wise, all-encompassing in wisdom. Every moment we live, every decision we make is part of a bigger picture designed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most wise. The strategies we employ in life then, they are not ends in themselves, but they are means to fulfill a higher purpose in life. In Islam, the best strategies are those that bring balance to our lives by aligning our worldly actions with our ultimate purpose, which is preparing for the hereafter. Any plan or any scheme you have in life, if it doesn't carry both dunya and akhirah, both this world and the hereafter together, it means that is not a scheme that is positive. That is a scam. The Quran and Hadith mention the importance of achieving a harmonious balance between dunya and akhirah. That's why we normally say, Rabbana atina fi dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. Oh Allah, give us goodness in this world and goodness in the hereafter and save us from hellfire. There's another verse of the Quran, Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 77. Allah says, وَابْتَغِ فِي مَا أَتَاكَ اللَّهُ دَارُ الْآخِرَةِ. Seek with the wealth that Allah has given to you, seek the home of the hereafter. وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. And don't forget your own share in the affair of this world. وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. Be good to others the way Allah has been good to you. وَلَا تَبْغِي الْفَسَادَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Don't spread mischief on earth by scamming people. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. Allah doesn't love scammers. You can scheme towards your hereafter, but don't scam people. You can scheme to attain to goodness in this world, but don't scam people. You can do good to others the way Allah has done good to you, but don't do the kind of goodness that at the end of it all, you are actually manipulating them to your own advantage. Don't do the kind of goodness that the poultry farmer does. You feed this chicken, you give them their feed, you give them medication, you give them bororo and all whatever thing you give to them just to make them to be fat enough for you to sell them. The day this chicken understand that you are manipulating them so that you can sell them, they will stop eating your food. But in life, that's how we do to many people too. You feed them, you manipulate them so as to keep them under you perpetually. You give them peanuts, you give them crumbles, whereas you are using them to build your own bakery. You now want them to be managing your own slices of bread that you give to them only once in a while, and you want them to be grateful for that. Allah knows our intention. Allah knows those who are scheming and those who are scamming. Because as a believer, you must understand that our strategies in life must consider both the spiritual and the material. To live fully in the world and strive for success here is part of our responsibility. Yet this pursuit must never eclipse the greater journey of the soul towards Allah. Wa anna ila rabbikal muntaha. The end of our journey is towards Almighty Allah. So you have to think of the day you will stand before Allah, the one you cannot manipulate. You stand before Allah, the one you cannot deceive. You stand before Allah, the one you don't have any scheme that will make him to look the other way when you are cheating and robbing people of their freedom, of their goodness in life. So let's reflect finally, because as we step back and look at the complexities of life strategies, we find ourselves in the midst of a grand scheme. This life is a scheme on its own, but make sure it's not a scam for you. Don't scam others. Don't let anybody scam you. This is a feat that asks for more than mere survival, but for a balance of purpose, for action, and a touch of grace. Make your action, make your plans, and ask for grace. In Islam's timeless wisdom, we are reminded that life's ultimate strategy is not just about climbing ladders or hoarding treasures. It's about cultivating a heart that knows its destination, a mind that plans thoughtfully, and hands that act with sincerity. Life will undoubtedly throw us twists and turns. There will be moments when our plans will fail. Sometimes our patience will wear thin. Sometimes our hearts will cling a little too tightly to what is fleeting, to what doesn't last. And that's precisely when we are called to remember that all strategies begin and end with trust in Allah. We plant and we plan and we persevere and we are patient, but we leave the fruit of our labors to the divine wisdom of Almighty Allah. After all, it is Allah who sees the bigger picture. He's one who knows the map that we are only beginning to understand. Yes, we must strategize, we must scheme. We work hard, but we also laugh harder. After you have done your planning and everything, you still put your trust in Allah and you still laugh at your plans. We plan with care, but we remain open to the mysteries of what life brings that is so unpredictable. As a Muslim strategist now, you are supposed to laugh and say with a smile that we tie our camel and then we trust in Allah. That should be your slogan about scheme in life. I am tying my camel, oh Allah, but I put my trust in you. When you scheme, when you plan, when you plot, when you arrange, when you organize, when you set agenda, when you set a purpose, well, after you have done all of that one, then you should end it up with a smile. Oh Allah, and I trust in you. That is where the sweet paradox is. We live a life full of action, yet free from worry. You know that if you succeed, yes, Alhamdulillah. If you don't succeed, yes, Alhamdulillah. Allah has a bigger picture and has a better plan for you. That is why this your plan didn't work. In the end, success in life is not about winning every battle or controlling every outcome. It's about living a life that honors our purpose while holding fast to the rope of Allah. And when we leave this world, may we do so with a heart full of good intentions, with hands that give generously, and perhaps even with a smiling face, knowing that in all of our clever plans, in all of our wisdom, it is Allah's wisdom that guides us home. No matter what we do, we know that it's Allah's infinite wisdom and Allah's big hand of guidance that's actually directing our lives. That is after we have done our part, after we have tied our camel. Don't move on with life without making a plan. Don't move on with life being clueless about what you need to do. Don't move on around life like someone that's confused. Don't move on around life like someone who doesn't know where they are going, who doesn't know what they want to do. Demand from life what you want, and then submit to Allah to grant it to you. So we carry on, we bend faith with foresight, we are contented with whatever path Allah unfolds, and we are happy in the knowledge that the best strategy of all is to live each day as a journey towards Allah and picking up our treasures along the way. So you are both a journeyer and you are also a quester. As you are traveling through life, stand and stop to pick whatever treasure you find along your way. Maybe you are traveling through this path because of that very treasure that Allah wants you to pick up. And when you pick it up, pray for Qubul, for acceptance from Almighty Allah. And that treasure you have found along the way, those treasures you took time to pick along the way, they may be heavy, they may not look very attractive. Those may likely be your pass, your entry pass to the hereafter and to seek the pleasure of Almighty Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Acquire Abdulfattah Adeyemi's soul-lifting handmade masterpieces and experience the divine beauty of Islamic artistry. Book counseling and therapy sessions to access a safe space to heal and thrive. Join the community. Transform your life. Edit your universe.